Swaddy Krap and welcome to the Thaiger, Thailand News Today. This is Tep Kasatri Road in Phuket. It's the busiest road on the island, but really at the moment, not so busy. Although it sounds pretty busy. If you arrive at Phuket Airport at the moment or by road from a red zone and you don't have the current full doses of a COVID vaccine, or you don't have a negative PCR test from the past 72 hours, you're going to have a swab stuck up your nose and pay for the pleasure. Foreigners will have to pay 500 baht. Thai people will have to pay nothing. It's caused a real ruckus on social media, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Let's head into a place a little bit quieter on the Thaiger. Okay, this is a bit quieter. Expats and other foreign travellers living in Thailand are up in arms after Phuket officials confirmed that foreigners arriving on the island would have to pay for a rapid COVID-19 test that's free for Thais. The testing required is part of the latest restrictions now enforced to combat the spread of the virus on the island. However, it's not the cost of the test, 500 baht, that has angered so many expats, but the fact that officials see nothing wrong with charging people based on their nationality. Yes, it's just another example of the famous two-tier pricing. On Monday, it was announced that everyone arriving in Phuket would have to pay 300 baht if they needed the rapid COVID test, but that was amended the next day. Effective yesterday, anyone flying into Phuket from elsewhere in the country must take a rapid COVID-19 test unless they've taken a negative PCR test within the last 72 hours or can prove that they've received both doses of a COVID-19 vaccine. With less than 1% of the country vaccinated, almost none of them foreigners, the second requirement is unlikely to be met. And just as a footnote, if your rapid COVID test conducted by an airport official happens to come back positive, you'll be whisked away to a Phuket field hospital for a 14-day stay. Thailand's Deputy Transport Minister and his wife are being investigated after a debt of 10 billion baht was somehow written off. The National Anti-Corruption Commission is reviewing documents related to the debt. Now, if the Commission finds that Wirasak and his wife attempted to conceal their wealth, the case could go to the Supreme Court, where Wirasak could end up being banned from politics for 5 years. When Wirasak was elected as an MP in 2019, the large debt was declared in the assets and debts category. But when his wife was elected as president of the Nakhon Ratchasima Obator in January, the 10 billion baht debt was not listed in the Declaration of Assets. The Commission says the debt declared by the Deputy Transport Minister 2 years ago has since become 35.5 million baht and were declared in his wife's overdrafts. Wirasak claims he was acting as surety for someone who had incurred the 10 billion baht debt. He says he's submitted documents to the Commission that back up his claim. The Thai Supreme Administrative Court has rejected a petition lodged by the Transport Ministry asking for an injunction against the court order for the State Department to pay 11.8 billion baht in compensation to the private contractor for the cancelling of the Hopewell elevated train project. You can see the remnants of the half-built elevated train line out to Don Muang Airport if you're driving from central Bangkok. The court said the previous ruling will be upheld. 14 years ago, yes, 14 years ago, the court ruled that the Ministry of Transport and the State Railway Authority had to pay compensation to Hopewell. Then, 2 years ago, the court ruled that they still had to pay the total compensation of 11.8 billion baht, which included accrued interest of 7.5% per annum. The Ministry and SRT's response: they said they wouldn't give up. I'm not exactly sure where else they can go except perhaps to get out their checkbooks. Thai PM Prayut Chan-o-cha has said thanks but no thanks to an offer from former PM Thaksin Shinawatra to help Thailand secure COVID vaccines from Russia. Fugitive PM Thaksin made the obvious suggestion that Thailand should be sourcing vaccines from other sources, not just Sinovac and AstraZeneca. Thaksin said that Thailand's COVID vaccine rollout had been proceeding too slowly. He noted that several high-profile business people in Thailand had the capability and connections to secure more vaccines with manufacturers in countries like China and Russia. He said, "The government should ask for tycoons for help, or I could talk with Russian President Vladimir Putin if you want." The Thai PM responded, "I won't answer. Don't relay a question from someone who is not in the country. I don't know him. Just leave him be." The popular petition website, Changeorg, is once again available to activists in Thailand after being blocked last October. A statement on the site's social media account confirms that it's back up and running in the kingdom. The petition site, popular with activists and anyone calling for social change or justice, was banned in Thailand for hosting a petition that referred to the Thai monarch. The petition, calling for Germany to declare the Thai king as persona non grata, relating to his extended past stays in the country, attracted 130,000 signatures before the site was blocked. The ban occurred at the height of pro-democracy protests in the kingdom last October, with the site blocked by major service providers, including AIS, DTAC and True. Those attempting to reach the website were redirected to a blockout notice traced to the TOT, the government-owned communications company. One of the biggest hydro-solar hybrid floating electricity projects in the world is nearing completion at Sirindon Dam in Ubon Ratchathani. The installation will move Thailand away from its often criticised fossil fuel dependency by increasing renewable energy production in the country. 7 solar farms have been built over 300 acres using 144,000 solar panels. I wonder who is counting them. The platforms are expected to produce 45 megawatts of electricity. I think that's a lot. Finally, 1,470 new COVID-19 infections and 7 deaths were reported today by the CCSA. 446 new cases are in Bangkok. Thailand now has over 18,000 active cases, more than double the peak of the last wave of infections back in January and February. Since the start of the pandemic last year, the CCSA has reported a total of 48,113 COVID infections and 117 COVID-related deaths. Chonburi also announced 97 new COVID-19 infections, and Phuket has seen a rise in total local infections reported since April the 1st, from 211 yesterday to 233 today. In both cases, those numbers will be reported in the national tally tomorrow. Well, plenty of very interesting news happening around Thailand today. Don't forget to download our app on Android and Apple, and you can find all the latest news at thetiger.com. But from me, standing on the side of Tep Kasat 3 Road in Phuket, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.